Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and sorry about the lighting, but I am in the office today and this was not designed to be a room for filming. But then what room is designed to be a room for filming in your average house anyway? Regardless, NaNoWriMo is officially over. We are almost a full week into December, and I thought I would have a little bit of a recap session just in case, you know, my Nano vlogs were too long, you didn't want to watch them, you didn't have the chance. This is just a recap and just to see how we're feeling about the whole situation. A lot of things happened during NaNoWriMo, a lot of things. I made the announcement that I was pregnant, and I still am pregnant, and going to be having my baby in early March, which is terrifying. I had a lot of stress in work and felt like I had no support, only to suddenly be told you're not going to be staying in this location anymore, you're going to be moving back to the one that you originally were working in when you first started the job, and that felt so much better, and I just feel a lot more relief going into work now rather than stress and oh god, what's today going to bring. It's like, okay, there's going to be some hectic moments, but that's okay. And I won NaNoWriMo. I got past the 50,000 words, and although it looked very bleak at times, very, very bleak, I did get past my 65,000 word goal, and that was such a relief in itself because I genuinely thought that there were times when I just wasn't going to do it, not because I didn't want to, but because I just wasn't capable. I did not reach my goal of getting the entire first draft of the second branded book done, and I'm a little bit disappointed in myself at that, but I wasn't really prepared for how balancing a stressful work situation with a deadline like this was going to be. That was completely my bad. I misjudged the entire thing of timing and word counts and how much I actually had left to do in the story, and then there was the rewrites and the replans that I ended up doing, which did not help the situation at all, but that is just the way my brain works apparently. So yeah, I am gutted that I haven't finished, but I'm still relatively on track to finish writing it by the end of this year. I could finish it this month. I really could. And the fact that I have the Christmas holidays to look forward to, because my job revolves around school times, so when schools break up for the Christmas holidays, that's when we also break up for the Christmas holidays, so I'm going to have so much more time on my hands, which is fantastic. It's just looking good, and I don't want to jinx it, because every time something has looked good this year, things have always had that little bit of a oh, but it's 2020 undertone. But then you think about it and it's like, well, what are we going to do next year in 2021 when things continue to rise because no one's paying attention to COVID precautions and stuff like that, and numbers still rise, and we still are umming and ahhing about a vaccine and all stuff like that. You can't blame 2020 then, people. What are you going to do? Have to take responsibility for your own friggin' actions. We're going on a bit of a tangent. Let's draw this back to writing, shall we? As stressful as it was at times and how I didn't feel like I was going to make the target, I am still very proud with the writing that I've done, if that makes sense. I feel like the story is going in a much stronger direction. I feel like I'm really getting into the minds of the characters. I really have a solid idea of where the story is going to go, and the end of this story is going to tie into a crossover with two books I have planned for the sister series, which I still haven't named, and I have a solid ending. I'm actually more proud of the ending that I haven't written yet than anything else, which is such a bizarre feeling, but that is much the life of a writer, especially one who, if you're like me, jigsaw writes from time to time, where they'll be like, okay, I really like this scene, I really like that scene. Oh, I haven't written out what's going to happen before this scene yet, but we're going to do this scene now just in case, and then I'll write up to it later. All that chaos. Although I was good. For all of Nano, I wrote consistently, as in, no, not consistently. I did write consistently, but I also wrote chronologically. I did not jump about or anything like that, and I managed to get a fair few chapters sent off to my beta reader, and so far she's enjoying it, so that's a good sign. I also had to rewrite a lot of chapters because I rewrote my plan, which meant that some bits and pieces got juggled around before, so I managed to rewrite those. Editing wise for Branded 1, now I realise I made no comments on these during my vlogs, and that is because I did not do a lot of editing. I wanted to edit the entire thing, but again, completely misjudged it on my part. I did not handle the time well. That was completely on me. I was so focused on the writing aspect and like, oh god, I'm not going to have enough time for writing. Work is stressing me out, and this is changing and that is changing, and midwife appointments that are getting juggled around all over the place. I'm not going to have any time for writing. It was all over the place. So I was so focused on I'm not going to have time to write that I completely mind blanked on the I'm not going to have time to edit aspect, and therefore I did not edit because I did not have time for it, because that is completely on me. So what I'm really hoping for is to get Branded 2, first draft, zero draft, whatever you want to call it, completely finished and sent off to my other beta readers by the end of this month, so that when January comes around and I still have over a week of Christmas holidays banked up, ready to go, I can use that to then edit, edit the first Branded, because beta readers are going to be editing my second one, so I can go over the edits that they've already done for the first one. That is my plan, but then when has my plans ever actually gone to plan on this channel before? So I say that like I'm unhappy with my progress. I'm really not. I feel like I have once again learnt a lot this Nano. I feel like I've learnt more about my time management skills. I feel like I know what I can plan and what I'm capable of, but I now need to take into account my mindset. And by that I mean, it's all very well being like, okay, you're going to work from this time to this time so that you can get home and write from this time to this time, and you don't have to worry about this until next week, and you know, I can plan it all out that way, perfectly fine. But I need to start paying more attention to, well, I think my body is completely rearranging itself for this little tenant that is growing inside, and now it's going to be getting ready to come out in like less than 3 months. Oh good lord, less than 3 months. So my energy levels are completely different. My focus is completely different to what I'm used to. So it's interesting to know that when baby is here for next Nano, and I'm going to be on a completely different schedule yet again. I'll be on maternity leave, but you know, it's not exactly going to be a free ride with a baby around. I am fully aware that things are going to be changing again, so I need to actually sit down and take notice of those changes, because I didn't this year. I thought, oh, you know, I know what I'm capable of. I worked 2 jobs during Nano last time, as well as game nights and seeing friends and stuff like that, so it's going to be more or less the same, just with 1 full-time job this time instead of 2 part-time jobs. It's going to be no different, but it was different because my brain, my body, my energy was all different, and it's going to be the same next year. So it's interesting to learn new things like that I need to take into account the bigger picture, not just the what is happening in the here and now kind of planning mindset. I don't know, it doesn't make much sense, but I haven't been making much sense lately. All in all, I feel like this has been a very interesting Nano. The vlogs were pretty boring. I did not do much. I did not go on as many walks. I did not go on many little adventures. I didn't do many baking things. I did near the end, but mostly brownies and flapjacks, but still. I don't know, so I'm sorry that the vlogs weren't interesting. I hope that this little recap is more interesting for you guys, but yeah, it's been a weird one. It has been a weird one. I mean, the positives are that I now have a solid idea of where the story's going. I know I can finish it by the end of this year. I am really proud that I managed to not only win NaNoWriMo, but also hit my 65,000 word target, and I have a more stable idea of where my energy levels and my mindset is going to be for future writing, not just this year, but next year in general. So that's a good lot of positives to take right there. I don't know, everything just seems to still be so all over the place, and yet as I'm learning it's kind of getting clearer, but at the same time completely not. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a recap on how my Nano went, how my writing went. Is this a writing update or is this a Nano recap? Yes, it's both, so that is probably what I'm going to be titling this. I do not know. But yeah, how did your NaNoWriMo go? Did you smash your target? Did you struggle? Were you a little bit all over the place? Did you pants things? Did you plot things? How did it go for you? I really want to know, because this is such an interesting experience, and I don't think any 2 writers have the same experience or same stories to tell at the end of it. Not just in the literal sense of the stories you're writing, but also the stories as in your experience. And that just really fascinates me, how it's kind of like a social experiment in a way, but that's just the way my mind works. Yeah, how did you guys do? I hope you're doing well, I hope you're staying safe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, my scribblers.